Have you ever wondered how to paint on fabric so that it isn't hard and crunchy? Today, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your own custom throw pillow covers with some stencils and paint. Hi creative friends, I'm Jane from Sustain My Craft Habit. We've painted a lot of fabrics over the years, from a large canvas area rug, leather and canvas shoes, a stenciled table runner, and more. Sometimes we're not so picky about the end feel of the fabric, but when you're painting a throw pillow where you might lay your head down, you really want a soft finish. So the trick is to use the right kind of paint. Our favorite paint so far for fabrics is DecoArt So Soft, and this paint won't crack, peel, or harden on your fabric. Sonia used this paint to create this really cute Let Your Light Shine t-shirt, and we have the tutorial for that on the blog. Sonia, who is my sister and co-crafter here at Sustain My Craft Habit, sewed me this throw pillow cover from a really soft canvas fabric. It has an envelope opening at the back. Regardless of which throw pillow you're using, you're going to want to start by pre-washing without a fabric softener. And once that's dry, iron it to remove any wrinkles. And then you'll want to place a piece of cardboard inside to prevent the paint from bleeding through from the front to the back side. I started by stenciling the large polka dots with the gold paint to create a bit of a backdrop. I just used one of my large paintbrushes and small amounts of paint to create a light coat. The coverage was really great with just one coat. I was a little nervous about how much the paint would bleed under the stencil, but I was pleasantly surprised to pull this up and see really crisp lines around my circles. So after letting those gold polka dots dry, it was time to start placing on the flowers. When I started, I actually thought I would do 3 different colored flowers. One the pink, one the light pink, one the dark pink, and one purple. But then when I started, I had this idea to kind of blend the paints together. So for each flower, I used 2 out of the 3 shades of paint, starting with the dark color in the middle, and then blending the lighter shade toward the outsides of each petal. The paints blended really well together and covered over the gold polka dots so that you couldn't really even see them in behind. I was so excited at this point to pull up the stencil. I really wanted to see how this was going to look. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I did tape down the stencil just with a bit of masking tape so that it wouldn't shift around while I was painting. Okay, it's the moment of truth. How is this gonna look? Just beautiful. The colors, it looked like a watercolor painting. I couldn't believe it. I honestly didn't even think it could turn out so nicely. So I was encouraged to continue on and do the next flower. This one I started with the lavender colored paint in the centers and the centers of each of the petals of the stencil, and then layered over that the lighter pink paint. And the colors really did just blend together nicely. When I was finished with the pink all the way around, I went back and dabbed in a bit more of the purple in some of the areas to really give it a layered and blended feel. Now again, the fun part, lifting up the stencil to reveal the beautiful design. Next, I repeated this process for the 3rd flower, this time feeling a little emboldened by my success, and used actually all 3 colors, starting with the purple in the center, adding a little bit of the darker pink in an outer layer, and then finally the lightest pink on the outermost tips of each petal. Next, I used the leafy vines from this stencil to add a little bit of green to the flowers. I first put on a darker green shade and then touched in a little bit of this lighter green for some dimension. So pretty, really quick and easy. And see, I should have taped down my stencil here, but I didn't. And yeah, it shifted a little bit, but it still turned out okay. You just want to make sure that your paint dries before shifting the stencil around, because otherwise you'll smear it over your throw pillow, and you don't want that. Next, I decided to add a little phrase, this hello sunshine. First, I did the sunshine part with this black stencil, and it just is a really nice contrast for the otherwise really light colored design. And then once that was dry, into the stencil I made sure was dry so that I wouldn't get black all over the pillow, I went back with the hello part and used the darker green again to add that onto the throw pillow. Finally, I used the glitter version of the So Soft in the pink ice and touched that into the inner parts of each of the flower. It's hard to see it here, but really this provides such a pretty sparkle in the sunshine and just adds to the texture of the throw pillow cover. I felt that there was something missing in this one corner, so went back in and added one more of the green vines. This paint is designed to set within 48 to 72 hours of drying, so you don't actually need to apply heat to set it, and it just washes in the machine inside out on the gentle cycle. I'm so happy with how this spring-themed throw pillow turned out, even nicer than I really thought it would when I was starting it. And it just kind of opens the door for all sorts of crafting possibilities that require painting on fabric. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and let me know, is this a technique that you'd like to try in your craft?